Is it possible these days to learn a language entirely for free? It's definitely possible, and I've seen many people who learn the language and basically didn't cost them anything. Is it the best way to learn the language, and should you take free language courses? Hey everyone, my name is Jan van der A. Welcome to Language Boost, the channel where we share our best language learning tips, tricks, and of course we give you a little bit of motivation that you need in order to succeed in learning your target language. Now, these days there are lots of resources for free, right? You can basically get lots of language learning materials for free on the internet, in PDFs, in audio files, and for language lessons. Well, I don't think there are many teachers who teach for free, but at least you can go to language exchanges, and there are of course also a website where you can do a language exchange. Now, very often people ask me, Jan, do you know a cheap way, or do you know how we can learn a language for free? Now, there are definitely ways. There are websites like, I think the most famous one is Duolingo. Well, the internet is full with free language learning materials. Is it really worth spending your time on these kind of free materials? Now, Duolingo, I think I'm going to make a separate story on that. I've tried Duolingo. I did Italian. I think I did up until level 9 or something. But I still can't speak a word of Italian. I'm not a big fan of Duolingo. I'm sure there are some good language learning resources out there. Even if there are good learning materials that are for free, you're still gonna need to practice your speaking, right? Now, you can do this on an exchange, but if you do it on an exchange, that means that you have to pay with your own time. Now, I don't know how expensive your time is, but if you make a decent salary, and I would say in a Western country, then like on websites like italki, you can hire teachers from $5 or $10 per hour. I'm always very happy to pay that amount. So if you have that amount, then you basically, every time you pay someone $10, you not only get a language lesson, but you also save yourself an hour of time, because otherwise you need to give that. In a language exchange, you need to give that time. You need to teach someone else your language, right? And if you want to become really good at a language, you want to become really fluent, you have to speak it a lot. And if you already speak it, you can just go to the country and use it in a natural way. But if you want to go from scratch to a beginner or intermediate level, you need someone who helps you, right? I mean, you cannot do everything from a book. You can do a lot with just books, but eventually you need to speak. You cannot just study a language and all of a sudden be fluent. You need to practice. And in order to find someone you can practice with, the easiest way, I would say, to find someone to practice with is actually to pay that person. That way you're also sure that he or she is always going to show up. Yeah, and then another question is, are there any good free language learning materials out there? Well, I haven't found them yet. If you know or if you have ideas, then I think 50 languages, you can Google that. I think their materials are not bad. They're old, but they're not bad. I'm always, if your time is valuable and you have a decent income, I would say, then why not pay for a good language course? I do buy courses myself. Of course, here at Language Boost, we create our own courses as well, but I also buy other language courses. I do have Glossica, I do use Link, I do use Assimil, I have some smaller language, and Teach Yourself, not really. Sometimes in the bookshop I do buy language learning materials as well. I'm always very happy to pay for good materials because I know they are going to save me time and frustration. Time is money. Frustration, well, maybe not money, but frustration is also not really nice to have. So I'm always very happy to pay for good language materials. And if you want to become really good at something, you need a tutor, right? It's not only for language learning, it's for anything. If you want to become really good at swimming, you need a good coach. If you want to become good at business, you need a business coach. If you want to become good at video editing, you need someone who teaches you this stuff. And it's the same in language learning. If you want to become really good at Russian, you need someone who like a tutor who teaches you basically to become good at Russian, you know. And a good tutor is not for free. So should you pay? I think if you have a decent salary, if you have a normal average salary in a Western country or any other developed nation with a reasonable income, yes, I would definitely pay for that. If you don't have any money, well, then why do you want to learn a language in the first place? Maybe it's better to focus on something that can actually directly can give you an income, right? Learning a language, of course, can help you for your career, can help you to increase your income, but it's not something that happens overnight. You really need to become good at the language, and in order to become good at the language, you need at least a few years. So, well, these were just my thoughts on this question that I get quite often. That was my opinion. I think if you have the budget, you should definitely be willing to pay some money for good materials, a good teacher, so that you save time, frustration, and of course a good tutor can also push you, like you have this personal commitment to someone, and maybe even motivate you. Yes, that was it. Thanks for watching again, and see you next time.